Hello, and welcome to Old Toy, New Joy, the show where I share with you my previously enjoyed toys I purchased from online sources, thrift stores, and collector shows that once belonged to someone else. Today I'll be speaking to you about custom and original cards of Herb Carnegie, Willie O'Ree, and other players who integrated the NHL in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now, you may be asking yourself, hold up. 1940s, there were no black hockey players in the 1940s in the NHL. No, there were not. But Herb Carnegie came darn close. In fact, he was offered a contract by the New York Rangers in 1948 to join one of their minor league teams. And he declined because he was making twice as much money playing in Quebec. Here are a couple cards I featured on a previous episode. 1951 Laval Dairy and a 52-53 Saint Laurent Sales Herb Carnegie cards. I'm very proud of those cards. They're hard to find. Beautiful examples. And to the right is my newest acquisition, an autographed custom card. Beautiful creation. Somebody's vision of what Herb Carnegie's hockey card might have looked like in 1954 had he indeed been playing for the New York Rangers. I really wish I knew more about this beautiful card. It was printed by My Authentic Company. I have no idea what that is, and it's numbered SP1, which probably stands for short print. I have seen one other version on eBay, not quite as clean as this one, also signed in the same way. This one comes with a certificate of authenticity from a sports card store. I can only imagine that maybe somebody printed a handful of these and either brought them to Herb to sign. Herb would have been in his 80s already. Either there was a signing event or he went straight to Herb's place. I'm not sure. This card and the one on eBay also have the indentation of another Herb Carnegie signature across here. Sort of like Herb either attempted to sign them in a regular ballpoint pen, which was dry and defective, or perhaps he signed some things over top of the cards. I'm only speculating. If anybody knows anything about this card, please let me know. I love it. It's absolutely awesome, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. So they did a great job. Here's a 1954 Topps of a fellow New York Ranger player, or what would have been a fellow New York Ranger player, Camille Henry. It's beat up, but as you can see, they very closely copied the coloring of the Rangers card in the 54 Topps style, except that the Carnegie custom card is the standard size and a little bit smaller than Topps' first foray into hockey cards, which more resembles the size of a 52 Topps baseball card. And I don't have an Allen Stanley to show you, but you'll have to take my word for it. This card creator used Allen Stanley's body for the Carnegie card. It's a spitting image of the Allen Stanley card, except with Herb Carnegie's face. As you can see by looking at the backs of the two cards, the card designer for Herb Carnegie completely did away with the 54 Topps style. The green and yellow coloring more resembles a 1980 OPC hockey card, but it's still, I think, an original template. And I'm going to read for you what it says on the back here. Carnegie's hockey career began in 1938 with the Toronto Young Rangers. From 1944 to 45, 47-48, he played for Shawinigan and Sherbrooke of the semi-professional Quebec Provincial League and was named Most Valuable Player in 1946, 47, and 48. Not too shabby. In 1948, Carnegie was given a tryout with the New York Rangers and offered a contract to play in the Rangers minor league system. However, he was offered less money than he was earning in the Quebec League and turned down all three offers made by the Rangers. So he indeed would have become the first black hockey player in the NHL rather than Willie O'Ree, pretty much 10 years before O'Ree took to the ice. But he had to do what was right for his family. So, gotta respect the decision. Before we move on to Willie, I did want to show you this gorgeous 1951-52 Bas de Fleuve Manny McIntyre card. He was a good friend of Herb Carnegie and Herb's brother Ossie. The three of them played together in the 1940s and were known as the Black Aces. And this card was something I picked up last year on eBay. It was a hard-fought battle. I missed out on Ossie's card. It went higher than I was willing to go. And next up on the auction block was this Manny McIntyre. And it's in great shape. Good corners, no creases, okay centering for such an old card. And it's the only card that I'm aware of Manny McIntyre. I don't even think he has a baseball card. I mention that because he was the first black professional baseball player in Canada. I think in 1948, so just a little while after Jackie Robinson. He was, like many of these guys, an incredible athlete and able to play in more than one sport at a very high level. This is an original color photo taken from a 1957-58 calendar of the 1956-57 minor league hockey championship teams from across North America. This particular photo is of the 1956-57 Quebec Aces team, who won the Edinburgh Trophy. The reason why I have this photo in my collection is because it features not one, but two black hockey players, Willie O'Ree and Stan Maxwell. There's O'Ree and Maxwell below him. O'Ree played 2 games in 57-58 and 46 games in 60-61 for the Boston Bruins of the NHL. Maxwell was never called up to the big leagues, but he did play with O'Ree on and off in the minor leagues throughout the 50s and 60s. Cards were produced for both O'Ree and Maxwell for the 56-57 season, but this calendar page will have to do until I can find those. So on to Willie O'Ree. And Willie O'Ree is talked about quite a bit these days. There's a lot of information on him. He is still alive. Unlike that Herb Carnegie card, Herb passed away in 2012. So very significant that I was able to get his signature on a Herb Carnegie card. Willie O'Ree signs a lot of things. There's a lot of cards out there on eBay with Willie O'Ree signatures. Those cards are all new cards within the last 15, 20 years. As far as original cards, as I mentioned before, there is a Quebec Aces card out there from the mid-50s. Other than that, there are no cards featuring Willie O'Ree from his time spent in the NHL. There are 3 team cards from 60 to 63, and here's one of them. And there's Willie. But in the last few years, a lot of very creative people have designed and printed what if or should have been or cards that never were of Willie O'Ree, and I have a few. So I like this card. This is a what if Willie O'Ree had a 58-59 tops. Now he didn't play in the 57-58 season. He played in the 58-59 season as far as I know, but still, what if he had a card? And I don't have another 58-59 in front of me to show you, but it's a very good job. The back is excellent. English and French. Born in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Willie O'Ree made his NHL debut last year, but spent most of the season in the QHL. Had 30 goals and 58 points in 41 games in 55-56 OHA season. Yeah, he was a very good minor league player. And here is a 58-59 tops recreation. And this would have been of his first season. He played 2 games that season. And Willie did play on a line with Jerry Toppazzini, as well as Don McKegney and some others. And here is an original Jerry Toppazzini 59-50-60 tops card. And as you can see, they use the same sort of shades of pink and red that most of the Boston cards had. Let's take a look at the backs. So they somewhat copied the back style. They put a picture on the back as well, so that's sort of their own original template, but they copied the green and gray and the font of the original card. And these two 61-62 Topps card sort of what-ifs were created by two different creators. I'm not sure which one I like better. They're both very good. And I really do like the pink on these cards. And that was used for the Boston players, as I'll show you in a moment. Let's take a look at the backs. Yeah. They used the original template for the backs. And Willie played 43 games in 60-61. And he played them with these guys here. More notably, Jerry Toppazzini, but Murray Oliver was also on the team. And had Willie played in 59-60 for the Boston Bruins instead of the minor leagues that year, he would have played with these guys again, Vic Stasiuk and Don McKegney, and he would have probably got a card, or possibly a card, such as these 60-61 Topps. I'm waiting for someone just to create this. I'm sure somebody will. Just as what could have been. Here's a nice creative custom card of John Paris when he was playing with the Quebec Aces in the late 1950s. He was scouted by Scotty Bowman in the early 60s, had some tryouts, tried to join the Canadiens, but never quite made it to the big leagues. And the back of this card, for whatever reason, resembles a 65-66 Topps card. And here's an Alex Delvecchio just to show you they copied that style perfectly. And in 2009, Topps actually put out a series of cards for the 1972 season. And this is the only card you're going to find not custom, but also not from the original 70s, of Alton White, who played for the WHA. On a past episode of Old Toy New Joy, I showed you my 75 Topps Mike Marson. Well, here's a 74-75 Loblaws sticker with an even better headshot, I think, of Mike. Very cool. And if Mike Marson was the second black player to play for an NHL team, Bill Riley was third, and Tony McKegney was fourth. Here's a 77-78 OPC Bill Riley and an 83-84 OPC Tony McKegney. So thank you so much for tuning in to Old Toy New Joy today and allowing me to share my custom and original cards of black players who integrated the NHL, such as Herb Carnegie, Willie O'Ree, and Mike Marson. Okay, Herb didn't integrate the NHL, but he came darn close. If you liked the video, please like the video, and I will keep them coming. In the meantime, I encourage you to subscribe and visit Old Toy New Joy. We've got lots of other cool stuff that we feature, such as wrestling figures, Redline Hot Wheels, He-Man and Masters of the Universe, Transformers, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, Superpowers, G.I. Joe, stickers, comics, Pogs, Smurfs, and much, much more. Until next time, this is your Toy Whisperer saying farewell and happy hunting from Old Toy New Joy.